Hello, how is everybody? Tonight I am Chunk. With me here is King Kong. We are here to cast the grand finals of Overwatch Pretenders Upper Division. This is a 3,500 and below league, and tonight we have two teams, Washed and Project Big Nice. Prospect
Prospect.
Big Nice, excuse me. We will be watching them play. King Kong, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's my first time casting, and I'm excited to get to see two great teams playing this upper division. So I'm excited to see some good Overwatch.
Yeah, me too, definitely. We had a very good match last night. For those of you who didn't catch it, we had the Agile Squids taking victory over Corvus Gravity in our lower division finals match. And that really was an excellent game. In a 7-game set, it was a 4-2 victory for Agile Squids, and we will have the same 7-game set tonight. Looks like we will be heading to King's Row for our first match. So tell me a little bit about what you expect to see here, King Kong.
Kings Row. Well, what are the hero pools right now for this match? Are there any hero
Luckily,
pools?
that is a good question.
Yeah,
Luckily, there are no hero pools
no
in
hero pools.
yeah, so everybody who bought the game gets to play all the heroes. What a strange concept, right? Um
Yeah, no, I
but
mean
yeah,
Kings Row is as standard as it gets. So we'll probably see lots. I mean, we can a lot. I think the meta right now is actually quite balanced. In terms of different comps you can run, and I think we'll see different teams playing to like their strengths. You can definitely see different tank comps with the Ryan D.va, Ryan Zarya. You can see double shield. Might even see some dive with Echo as well.
yeah, absolutely. Echo. Talking about Echo, been a very powerful hero coming right into this meta and carving out a place just with that mobility and all that damage output. You think we're going to see a lot of Echo tonight?
I'm not 100% sure because Echo can definitely be a pretty tough hero to play. She definitely does do a lot of damage, but if you play her wrong, she can definitely be. She's very squishy, right? And without when she doesn't have her fly up, she's very vulnerable uh to get killed by any hit scan, right? Very squishy character.
Yeah,
Even with
absolutely.
like
Echo is very good at taking advantage of a lot of things, but can be countered with a good hit scan. And we know that Existence on the side of Washed is a very talented hit scan player.
that is
We'll
true.
have to see exactly how this match ends up playing out as we see a lot of new faces for the side of Prospect Big Nice. We'll have to see how those players fit in with their current roster. I know that some people were just added to the team today, in fact. So we'll have to see how exactly that storyline plays out as we go through. We see Wash starting out on the defense here with that classic May McCree Ryan D.va composition. Gonna be looking here for walls. We see Fapwater here on the May. It's gonna be looking for that early wall here.
And see
And
Marine on the Genji as well, so they're definitely gonna be looking for that Nano Blade combo later on.
yes, absolutely. A very strong combo indeed. It's going to be up to Ozzy to get that beat up, but he is going to be the first one to go down, looking to get a little bit out of position there. Early advantage here for the side of Prospect Big Nice. And with Slow now slept, Dak is going to get demech. The wall comes out trying to give his team a little bit of space, but Dak Gameboy is going to go down here to Jonathan. Slow swinging, not going to really find anything. Wash getting really split up here, and they just get pushed back off of sight.
Yeah, losing the Lucio first like that can be really tough because you lose that all essential speed boost, which is super powerful in these comps, right? Without
Yeah,
your Lucio, you
absolutely.
lose that chance to initiate the fight.
And you also lose your chance to back up as that kite potential with Lucio. With that speed boost, backing up is also so important in the Ryan Zarya versus Ryan Zarya, or Ryan Zarya versus Ryan D.va, excuse me. But
Exactly.
looks like they're going to try to take a fight here, maybe at this second corner as opposed to the first corner. Maybe get some sort of speed boost attack into the team. You see Death and Taxes going to the high ground here. Looking maybe to find something with that Deadeye that he has charged up already. Somehow all ults are online. A good block there,
Oh,
but
and he
Tap
gets
is a
him
little
in.
too far forward. Slow does go down to the Deadeye, and Marine Corps is going to take out Existence there. Fight still going on cart here, pushing up despite the loss of their Reinhardt. Prospect Big Nice just looking to clean up some of these kills here. They do
Oh,
manage to get a
I forgot about
sleep
the cart.
onto Dak, but they do, they're moving cart here, and the respawns are going to have to come in fast for Washed. As we see now, Jonathan pushing up here, trying to get a little bit of space, but slow there to meet him. The Zarya bubble, very helpful, but the Mei ult is going to come out. They're going to kill Jonathan pretty fast.
Oh,
Jorno getting super low. The beat doesn't come out as Marine Corps somehow getting this blade off here. Not really finding much with it, though, as he doesn't seem to really be able to get a lot of kills there. The nice Mei wall comes out and separates the McCree. They're also not finding kills here. Maybe a bit of a misclick there on the D.Va bomb, but the respawns now coming in for Prospect. Marine Corps somehow killing the Mei there. The anti goes on to the both tanks, as KingKong says there. We see the nano come out, and that is going to be enough to get a little bit more position here. A big eat there by Dak Gameboy onto Casey's grab. Just tough if you're the Zarya player to get your grav eaten. You've worked so hard to farm. Existence does take out Marine and Casey there, putting in a lot of work on that McCree. Enemy McCree also goes down to Dak Gameboy, and this elongated fight here is finally going to come to an end, as Prospect Big Nice is forced to back off here despite investing a lot of ultimates.
Yeah, and this is a great place for Wash to stop the payload. Makes it a lot easier. The defender spawns are about the same as the attacker spawns, making it a lot easier for the defenders to hold here.
Yes, absolutely. The push here is going to have to come quickly. A lot of ults online again. It seems like this Nano Blade is just online all the time here for the side of Prospect Big Nice. It's just a little bit ridiculous that he's charging it that fast. And we see Tapwater try to find something on the Doomfist. Not really going to happen here, as we see maybe just a little bit of unsure what to do there by the side of Washed.
Alright, well, we see Tap going to the Torbjorn now, and it looks like that he's trying to shut down this Genji with the Torb. Genji definitely good at dealing with those divers, or not Genji, Torbjorn definitely good at dealing with those divers with his armor and with his turret as well as additional damage.
Yep, and we do see this speed and Deadeye here. It's going to find Existence, who peeks it, maybe making a bit of a mistake there. Marine Corps goes in, doesn't take any damage when he goes in, taking out the Torb turret pretty easily. And it's just a backup now for Slow and the side of Wash. Down a lot of players, they're just going to have to play it slow here. Down the Torb turret, down the D.Va mech. Huge block from Slow, but is immediately blocked again by Jonathan. A very big play there from Existence, finding 2, make it 3, and then it's also going to be Slow on the cleanup. So a pretty good fight there for Wash. They gained some bit of traction back, but the ult economy is not really looking good for them, KingKong.
Yeah, so we'll look at their win conditions now, right? So, Prospect, they're definitely playing around this Nano Blade, right? So you see Wash's win condition is just farming up that beat. But it looks like that they've got the Nano Blade online fast enough, so if they can just get there in that one slight window, they might be able to win this fight before they can
we've seen the beat try to come in before, but get missed there by Aussie Boy. He's going to have to play back far enough so that the Nano Blade can't get on him instantly. And he is actually able to get that beat out this time. And the well-placed D.Va bomb from Dak. Yeah, very good defensive bomb there. It's going to force side of Prospect Big Nice to back off here. Existence finding the exit onto Jonathan, and Tap getting one onto Jorno as well.
Yeah, that's what it's like playing Genji in 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely not one of the meta heroes right now. I'm surprised to see this player stick on the Genji. A little bit confusing here, to say the least. I'm not really sure why he's doing it, but does still have that Ana. Getting 50% now is no team chat onto that Nano. It's going to be very important here, but Existence is able to take out Marine Corps pretty fast. Another Deadeye here from Existence. Not going to find anything this time, but with that Nano onto Slow, they're going to pretty easily be able to push out here. Maybe a bit of a misclick there by Tap on that ult, not really finding much for the Torb ult, but again, Prospect Big Nice is pushed all the way back towards their spawn.
That was a great idea from Prospect. They used the Deadeye to draw out almost all of D.Va's Matrix to make it very impossible for her to try to eat that grab, except they didn't really have any follow-through coming up with that grab. Weren't able to clean up those players stuck in.
Yeah, absolutely. And Existence was able to play far enough back to use that Deadeye to sort of force Ryan to hold up shield instead of swinging. Slow is able to escape the Mei wall from Death and Taxes and find a huge shatter. Going to take down 2 people here. Tap is a little bit caught out in their backline, and he does go down. Death and Taxes finding the pick. This time it's a huge shatter from Jonathan. He's going to put Slow on the ground. Quickly gets back up, but a big Mei wall here from the side of Prospect. is going to be huge. The D.Va bomb comes in, somehow doesn't kill Lucio, who manages to stay just below the point. Bit of a stall play here from D.Va is actually going to find a way to kill Ana. Existence finding 2 here as well. Excellent work on that McCree to find those kills. Jonathan, not done yet, going to take out Dak, but it's just the tank line left alive for Prospect Big Nice. They're going to have to back out of this fight as we see Big Juice and Tapwater just cleaning things up for good measure.
That's great target focus and stall coming out from the Wash side. Being able to clutch out in that I think it was a 3v5 situation. That was pretty tough.
Definitely impressive. We see that Blade back online, but they used Nano last fight, Prospect Big Nice did. So now it's just going to have to be a Blade without a Nano, and we see a lot of ultimates online here for the side of Wash. It's going to be a pretty even fight coming in here. Going to have to see if Existence gets anything, and he does indeed get something.
And
he
a
gets
huge
Jorno.
anti as well.
A massive anti coming in from Big Juice, and that is going to be enough to just change that fight completely. All of a sudden, Casey is now forced to sort of panic grab in order to get back to point. May not even be able to touch, and they are not able to touch. Dak getting the final kill there, and it is going to be first round. Pretty solid hold there from Washed on that 3rd point, despite some difficulties in the first 2.
Yeah, no, definitely. They did a really great job. They definitely started taking the initiative, making sure they use those ults first, and kind of putting Prospect Big Nice on the back foot.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about being on the back foot here, Prospect Big Dice now. Maybe a little bit of sweat coming in here. They're going to have to worry really about the time bank. How long are they going to be able to hold Washed up on these first 2 points? Will they be able to find a full hold anywhere in these first 2 points? Got any predictions here, KingKong, as to what we might see in order to stop Washed from pushing it all the way?
Well, I'm wondering if we're going to see them stick with the Genji, and as they're coming out of spawn, it looks like Marine does want to stick with this Genji. I'm not sure how well that's going to work, because if Wash run that Mei, they definitely have that that more tanky power with Mei having the wall, having the cryo freeze, and having 250 HP as well. And just the freeze, the CC, just making it a lot harder for these tanks to deal with their composition.
Yeah, I'm very much interested in seeing exactly how this Genji plays out. He was pretty hard countered last round, I would say, but it's going to be interesting to see exactly how this works here as we see Tap making Frosty the Snowman in spawn on that Mei, going to push out, looking to maybe find an early wall here, getting those tanks onto point first before Existence tries to find some picks. Yeah, Existence. Oh, a big anti comes in early here from no team chat, gets Dak and Tapwater very low. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's just going to provide more ult charge there for Big Juice, already 40% to that Nano. Both teams sort of poking here, eating each other's fire strikes as they push in. It's going to be slow now, trying to find some space here. Tap looking for that early Mei wall. Really not going to find it here as Death and Taxes is able to take out Existence. Trying to bully this Genji off in the map, and they might succeed in doing so. Dak and Aussie able to take out Marine Corps. Just an absolute bullying there from the D.Va and the Lucio, chasing him around the map. Might be about time to switch off the Genji, but we're not going to see it yet. Dak now trapped behind the backlines here as Jonathan and company look to still hold this first corner. Casey trying to get some charge there with that bubble, doesn't really find anything as we see these teams sort of squaring off.
And Aussie trying to trade the Genji with the Widow, except Slow got purpled there.
And Slow going down definitely spelled the end of the fight. A really early kill there by Dak onto an ulting McCree. A big purple forcing Casey to use bubble. Another kill by Dak onto Jonathan. Dak's aggression here looking very good for the side of Washed as Existence just taps Marine Corps as he tries to escape on that Genji. It is just not working out for the Genji here on that first point. The Mei and the McCree. Maybe a little bit too much CC for him to deal with here.
Definitely not. What we see here is that right when the Genji tries to dive in, we see the D.Va and the Lucio, 2 of the fastest characters in this composition, instantly chase after him, and D.Va being able to do lots of damage with his micro missiles, and Lucio also being able to do a decent amount of damage himself. Can definitely delete that Genji pretty quickly.
Yes, and we are seeing that happen right now. They are getting close to that Nano Blade combination here. We do see Aussie Boy, however, with that beat drop, maybe the Mei freeze as well to maybe slow down some of those Genji plays. We do see that
Eventually, the
May
Nano
ult come out
Blade coming
early.
out here,
Marine
maybe.
trying to take out the Lucio, but Aussie baits him up high. Tapwater and Existence going to find the kills they need here. It's going to allow Slow to push forward now. No Ryan on the other team to protect against that McCree Peacekeeper. Just going to be taking people out as they try to escape.
That was also a really cheap fight as well. They only had to use the Blizzard, and they still have 5 ults. So even though Prospect have the Nano Blade, they can still win this fight with their 5 ults as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who is able to use the ultimates here first. Big wall there. It's going to trap Jonathan. They may not be able to get in to kill him, though. As the grab comes out now, it's going to be followed up by a defensive bomb here from Dak. Doesn't kill anybody thanks to the well-timed beat from Jorno, but a big shatter from Jonathan should clean up the rest of this fight. A very late blade here, not really going to find any value. Bit of a, maybe a misclick there from Marine Corps.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I figured when they nanoed the Ryan, I figured they'd actually try to hold on to that blade and maybe save it for the next fight, considering they already had 3 kills there.
Yeah, a little bit confusing there. Now the ult economy again shifts to favor Washed. They're going to have to push in and be aggressive here, though. This Ryan Zarya composition doing some pretty good work. Jonathan and Casey getting on point, gaining control of it very early here. Marine Corps able to deflect that fire strike there and try to charge that blade back up after last use there. Shield going down here, but D.va's able to eat most of that McCree ult. Marine Corps, though, finding the shots onto Existence, able to take him out. What could be a bad fight here for Wash. They're going to try to back off from using that May wall. Maybe just try to hold this corner here, though. It looks like PBN getting a little bit aggressive here. They want to push this advantage, knowing that Existence is down, knowing that McCree pressure is out. Slow pushes in and gets nanoed here. Jonathan getting very low, does have that Earth Shatter. He is going to die here, and they're going to use the freeze just to clean this fight up. These last 4 members of PBN go down very fast thanks to that freeze there from Tapwater.
That was some great kiting by the Wash side to stall for enough time to make a Prospect commit just around the corner. And once Prospect committed around that corner, they were able to use the Nano Boost and push right into him. Deal lots of damage, use the Blizzard, and that's the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about the fight here, it's going to be important now to get this Nanoblade combo off for Marine Corps and No Team Chat. They're going to have to get in, they're going to have to get up and use that before Aussie Boy gets that beat charged up. We see him about 10% to beat here. Death and Taxes with another Deadeye, going to get it around that wall there, but Tap is able to take cover behind point and not die from it. Here comes that Nanoblade, the beat does come out, and there's going to be another defensive bomb here. Not really going to be needed though, as Slow is just able to swing down Marine Corps and take him out despite his nano. Tap just finding 3 very quickly and a big boop from Aussie. Very, very poised play here from Washed as they're pushing in, and PBN looking for answers. They do have the grab and the beat online, but not much else to work with here. Coming into this last fight, Marine ends up on point with Jorno and Jonathan.
And it's eaten again!
An eaten grab again by Dak, his second on the map! Oh my goodness, they also managed to wall Jonathan. There's going to have to be a big play here now from PBN. It might not come through though. Oh my god, a missed shatter there maybe from Jonathan. Doesn't really find anything as Aussie Existence just cleaning everything up. And like you said, KingKong, that's the map. 1-0 Washed. What are your takeaways from that? Maybe not the result we were expecting to see there, but
yeah,
Wash put in a lot of work.
Big Knights have been undefeated this entire season. They have not dropped a single game yet, and Wash are coming out looking very dominant.
Yeah, what do you think was the key to that dominance we saw on this first map? Obviously, the first 2 points of PBN's attack really went their way, but then all of a sudden things just turned around.
Yeah, so Wash, I think, so in general, Wash had the better composition with the Mei rather than the Genji. And the issue with the Genji is if the Lucio is able to farm up that beat, then it makes it very difficult to get value from the Nano Blade. And that's your biggest win condition when you're running that composition. Now, and Blizzard is a much easier ultimate to get value from nowadays because you're only investing that 1 ult compared to investing 2 ults with a Nano Blade. So you in terms of that ult cycle, you kind of get a lot more value from it. So it's a high risk composition. It can work, but Wash understood the win conditions, they played around the Nano Blade very well, and they took the win.
Yeah, they were almost ready to invest 2 ultimates in exchange for the, 2 ultimates from, Prospect Big Nice. As we saw, the D.va Bomb come out sort of
Right, exactly.
defensively against that blade. It's almost like they knew the Nano Blade was the win condition, and they were just very much ready to counter it with 2 ultimates like
Exactly.
Beat and D.va Bomb that you can definitely use to great effect reactively.
And the D.Va Bomb isn't always just to kill the Genji, it's actually more to zone the rest of the team out. If we notice in that last Nano Blade that Project Big Nice had, they sent the Nano Blade in, right? But they dropped the D.Va Bomb, and the rest of the team is like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to push forward, right? Because there's a giant nuke in front of me. And
Yeah, exactly.
it makes it a lot harder for your team to help you when you go in and try to get that Nano Blade off.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to have to see what our next map ends up being and what exactly we're going to have to see here in terms of Prospect Big Nice trying to get back onto the right foot, trying to find a way here. We saw obviously King's Row, a big Reinhardt map, so that May and Lucio, they work really well for a team like Washed, who's very comfortable playing them. But now PBN does get to choose the map. They get to decide sort of the terms of engagement. So we'll have to see where this ends up going here. Do you think there's maybe another, map that's going to favor maybe more of that nano blade comp, more of that sort of dive style from Big Nice?
Well, we'll see what kind of what map mode we'll be going to. Oh, it looks like we'll be
It's
going
going
to
to be
assault.
assault. Yes.
Yeah, so I a lot of these assault maps definitely you can run dive on. Temple of Anubis, that's a fantastic. You can run dive though. Sometimes it can be a little harder. Hanamura, you can run dive. Um, Let me see. Volskaya is definitely a little bit harder to run dive, but on attack, these dive comps definitely can be powerful. So maybe we'll see the Genji still in play
Yeah,
during this
and
map.
we saw last night on this map a lot of Pharah. We saw a lot of Pharah from a player from Agile Squids called the King. He's very, very good at Pharah. I know that Tapwater on the side of Washed is a good Pharah. Do you think there's any room? Do you think we should expect to maybe see a Pharah played here?
Um,
Or do you think the hit scan is maybe a little bit too much to worry about?
well, I've seen Existence. Existence's hit scan has definitely been outstanding, and uh, Project Big Nice might be a little bit shy to go to that Pharah, especially with Existence in the server, shooting everybody's heads off. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but we may see some Echo as well. Genji, Marine Corps really wanted to play that Genji. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right now, I think there's a lot of different comps that can be run, and we'll see. And it will really be based off what they practice in their scrims.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about what's been practiced, we did just change the map type, actually. We changed it to control.
Oh,
So
okay,
I believe we will be going to Oasis here. So talking
okay.
about Pharah maps, there is potential to see a Pharah here.
Oh, definitely.
I'm definitely not trying to harp on the idea of a Pharah, but when you see these guys come out like on that Genji composition, maybe they're just thinking something more in terms of like pick potential. Something like Pharah gives you a little bit of that pick potential, but it also gives you a lot of spam. It's one way to deal with the
Yeah,
Rhine
Pharah is
composition is a
definitely
lot of
a lot
spam.
more slower version of that dive. You can go for you get a lot of long range poke with the Pharah rockets, the splash damage, and the Mercy boosting the Pharah as well. And then once you get a lot of people weak, right, that's when the dive can go in and finish off those low health targets.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see what these teams decide to come out on. We do see a sub. National Debt comes in here, maybe to play that hit scan role that we saw for Prospect Big Nice. Want to have to see what Marine Corps decides to pick for DPS this time as well. Otherwise, our lineups do remain the same here. See Existence maybe going to start on that McCree. Be interesting to see if Tap sticks to that Torbjorn pick. A
I really
full
like that
dive.
Tor pick because knowing from the last map, Marine really liked to play that Genji, and the Tor, very great counter to dive, right? And it
Absolutely. The
looks like
turret.
we got dive on the other side as well with Project Big Nice. you're even running the wrecking ball.
Yeah, that ball Winston composition allows for quick engages alongside the Doomfist and the Genji. So it'll be interesting to see how these two collide and what ends up happening here. Going to take point and take high ground first is Project Big Nice, going to look to stage the dive from up top. Ozzy looking for a boop early, isn't really going to find it. Casey playing the role of Chandelier here. Does find an early pick onto Existence, and a big anti there from No Team Chat. Does try to get followed up on. People get low, but nobody goes down as Dak and Tapwater both find big picks here. Able to also find Casey. Dak does go down to Jonathan here. Slow, very low on health here. Is going to manage to take down Jonathan before he goes down. And oh man, Tap gets slept on point by No Team Chat. That is unlucky indeed. 3 members alive here though, with the Torb turret up top. So this is not lost yet for Washed, as Existence says it's definitely not Washed. Finds 2 picks, but Marine Corps comes in immediately, finding that pick back, and that is going to be enough to cap the point for Project Big Nice. Dak and Ozzy finding 2 more kills, though. This fight is going every which way. Nobody really guaranteed a win yet, but it is in the benefit of Prospect Big Nice to just stall this as long as possible. Trying to get that trying to get that point potential here. They do sort of get forced off of point. The blade comes out very fast, but the bomb comes in as a response. Tap and Slow taking out DPS for Prospect Big Nice here. And it is just a stall effort here. It's really doing a good job with this stall here, sort of setting people in one at a time. The nanoed Monkey does come in as well. Both supports are taken down by Tapwater though, and the Monkey also goes down to that Doomfist. It's just the DPS on point now for Prospect Big Nice. They are going to go down, and the point is finally going to flip to Washed.
That was a great stall from Project Big Nice. When they lost that, they were down a lot of players, and they got about an extra like 30% off from that one stall, and that's basically one fight.
Yeah, talking about that one fight, even though they probably would have lost that first fight had it just played out, they instead played for the stall, got a lot of percentage, and Casey is the first one to go down here, maybe getting a little bit over aggressive on that ball. Tapwater able to punish here, also taking out No Team Chat and Jorno. That Doomfist is just running rampant in the back line of Prospect Big Nice. Tapwater also finding Jonathan, give him 4 on the fight, trying to make it 5, but Marine really wants to get out, trying to escape on that Genji, and he is going to.
That was fantastic peel from the side of Wash. Existence was just getting hounded by the Wrecking Ball and the Doomfist, and they were still able to keep him alive through all that damage.
Yeah, very good work there. As we see Casey get super aggressive again, drop that minefield in the corner, doesn't find a lot right there, and Tapwater again able to take out No Team Chat. He's just uncontested in the back line. Some anti-work trying to come out here, but it's not going to be enough to save Big Juice. Existence going to take out Jorno, and Casey again falls, but Marine Corps is found 2. He does go down to Slow, but National Debt now decided to come in, putting in a little bit of work on the Doomfist of his own. It's just Ozzy and Slow left on point here for the side of Washed, and they are also going to be taken down eventually. Ozzy just trying to stall this out as long as possible, and he is able to stall it out long enough for Tap to get back in, who now on the Doomfist is trying to find another pick, is not really going to be able to, and that seems to be it for that Washed hold on point. At 88% though, they're looking pretty.
Yeah, we'll see Marine come up with this Nano Blade, oh no, sorry, not Nano Blade, and Moira. But yeah, he'll have the blade, but on the side of Wash, we have both supportals, and we have this D.va bomb. I want to see if they're going to use this D.va bomb and beat to counter the blade from the side of Project Big Nice again.
They have enjoyed using it in that regard. There comes the bomb out, and it is going to find Casey. It also gets Jonathan to force back into the corner there. Marine does eventually go down to Slow. Jonathan finding 2 though, kills Existence and Big Juice. Those are going to be big picks. He does go down to Dak Gameboy though on that D.Va using that melee. Tap takes down No Team Chat on the Moira, who probably tried to switch to that to stop dying to that Doomfist. Doesn't quite work there. Casey coming in, just trying to stall this out as long as possible. We've seen both teams be pretty solid with this stall game here. An ult invested in the stall though, maybe looking to switch off of that Wrecking Ball here. Not entirely sure why they're going to use that when they have a fast enough comp to get back to point. Jonathan goes down to Dak Gameboy, and a lot of ults being invested here in what might be a lost fight for Prospect Big Nice. We see Marine Corps desperately trying to work on the back line, playing that Tracer. National Debt comes in. He's very low and will go down, but not before taking out Big Juice. Tap does find the kill on that Doomfist, and the beat comes in now from Aussie Boy. Going to use it to take out No Team Chat this time. Tap just finding all of these punches. Lands yet another one onto Casey, who is still on that ball and going down. Slow takes out Jorno, and Tap takes out Jonathan. That's going to be a flip there. While the point is stalled to 99, it's going to be tough here to get back on if you're Prospect Big Nice.
Now, Prospect, they had a great stall, but now they're left without any ults. And this might be a tough fight for them, especially with all of them trickling in.
Definitely a tough fight as National Debt is forced to be the first one in Existence on that Reaper is able to kill him. A fast Reaper ult is going to take out Casey. Tap going to find yet another kill onto Jorno and onto No Team Chat. Tap is just destroying this support line. It's not even close right now in that battle of the backlines as Tap is just given free reign. Eventually, that does secure the point for Washed.
Yeah, so towards that end, Project Big Nice, I think their goal was to try to get to that 99%. To put it in one fight victory territory, right? However, Wash was already at 88%, making it very difficult to come back after losing that fight. That's why the Doomfist National Debt had to go in, and he died early, and without any ults, that just made that last fight that much harder.
Yeah, absolutely. A very difficult fight indeed as we see this double shield composition here. Maybe looking to play some more heavy point control. For the side of Washed. They're going to try to get on this point and hold for as long as they can. They also have what looks like a Brigitte and a Torbjorn. So they might be expecting some dive here, but doesn't look like Prospect Big Nice is going to give them what they want. They're going to also get on this double shield comp, this time with a Junkrat and a Baptiste. So interesting dueling compositions here from these teams. Going to have to see exactly how they match up. The spam definitely favors the side of Prospect Big Nice with that Junkrat. Slow gets very low here, trying to hold up that shield to get healed by his Ana, and he is able to. Jorno gets in a little too deep and gets killed, but that Game Boy also goes down to National Debt there. I have to play very careful here now. Slow is the only tank. 4 point early goes over, and a fast nano there. Big nano there from Big Juice. It's going to allow Slow to get 2, Existence to get 1. Marine Corps on the flank. Existence says no thank you and forces him back into his spawn there. Big kill from Existence. Jorno is able to escape some crafty Lucio wall rides to get out.
From that fight, we can see the drawback of having the Junkrat in the composition, right? You deal lots of damage, but because it's so hard to burst people down with the Junkrat, you give the healers a lot of time to heal, to gain ult charge through that healing.
That is a very good point. Speaking of ult charge, Marine Corps already has that Deadeye and is able to take down Slow. Existence brings it back and takes down Casey, but not before Marine Corps takes down... Boy, both McCree's going off right now, taking out both tanks. Tap, though, in this tankless battle, we are seeing him just go off on this Torbjorn this time. Finds a hammer kill onto Marine Corps. The utter disrespect. Easy's in the chat for Tapwater. That is something you definitely do not see every day. Wash looking pretty confident on this point right now. We do see the Riptire coming in from National Debt and the Earth Shatter coming in from Jonathan. It seems like both tanks are going to try to get their ults off pretty fast here. Slow and Jonathan both don't find anything, but Tapwater destroying with that Torbjorn ultimate. National Debt gets a very well-placed Riptire onto Slow. The window comes out here trying to put in that extra damage, but it's just the Torb turret playing behind the window. Not a lot of damage at all there, and Jonathan is going to fall to Dak Game Boy, who's playing this Orisa very well, using the walls for cover, playing that shield.
Aussie, what a great move.
Aussie boops off National Debt there, who was maybe trying to flank, trying to find some off angles to get some picks onto the back line with that Junkrat. And this point just seems like it might end up going the way of Washed, as this ult comes out now, and the Immortality field is down for Prospect Big Nice. Jonathan gets very low and also goes down there. And this is just a very confident performance here. The picks continue to roll in from Washed. Marine Corps comes in with a pretty fast Torbjorn ultimate. The only casualty is Tapwater's Torb turret. That's going to be it. Washed with a very impressive 2-0 on Oasis.
Yeah, it was definitely dominant, especially that last map. It was very strange to see Prospect Big Nice start to trickle in towards the end. They tried to take a fight when both their DPS were still walking back from spawn, and because of that, they were able to get an early pick on one of the tank.
Yeah, as we see this play of the game, we're gonna actually
Oh,
probably
are we
get to
gonna see
see
the
this
hammer kill?
hammer kill
Oh
here.
boy.
Oh my
Oh
god, that is just
no.
a little bit
Oh
disrespectful. I'm not gonna
no.
lie. That is
That's the play of the game too.
that is really something there on the play of the game. Add insult to injury.
No team
We've
chat
talked I feel like we've talked a
accepts
lot about
defeat.
what Washed has done well. And in our first map, we talked a little bit about staying on that Genji too long for PBN that might have lost him that map. What went wrong for PBN there? What happened to this undefeated team that we saw?
So I think it really goes back to that first fight with uh Big Juice getting that early nano. Because of the Junkrat, they're able to get this early. Slow's able to get that early nano, run into the enemy team, get tons of damage, and now all of a sudden, Wash has a fantastic ult cycle. They deal with all the big nice ults very well, and are just able to keep a hold on to the point for the entire round.
Yeah, talked about holding on to that point for the entire round. It was only that first 10% that PBN was able to get on that second point. Like you talked about that Junkrat. You talked about the allowing the healers to get a lot of ult charge, but let's talk about the healers. Big Juice looking very confident on that Anna.
Definitely.
She has looked very good on that Anna throughout both maps as we saw her get that 46% healing card on the first map and also on this second map, like you said, that ult really turned things around.
Yeah, Big Juice has had some fantastic fight-winning nano boosts onto slow that has basically won fights individually a lot of the time.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I think that Anna is going to be very important going forward here. Despite the heavy dive from Prospect Big Nice, it's going to be, I think, very difficult to lock her down. I mean, they tried to dive her and they did get her picked pretty early in some of those fights. But the rest of the team was really able to cover for that. And
Yeah, we see a lot of great peel from
yeah,
Existence, from Dak, definitely trying to negate those damage dealers of the Wash, who definitely seem like very talented DPS players, but they're definitely having trouble against that the D.Va and the McCree with their defense matrix and the stun.
yeah, and I think we should talk maybe a little bit about the tank battle too. Slow versus Jonathan, both playing a lot of Reinhardt here so far. Who do you think is getting the better of that matchup, or has it been more or less even?
So far, it's definitely been slow getting a little bit better of the matchup, but at the same time, the Ryan matchup isn't always about it's just a straight on 1v1. It always has you always have to rely on your teammates. And it seems like the overall plan, the over support from Wash is definitely enabling Slow to be a little bit extra aggressive, um, and just getting a little bit of extra damage with his swings, and just overall be a little bit more dominant in that Rhine matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have seen this matchup so far. I won't say dominated by Washed, but Washed has looked very confident, almost washing the floor a little bit here with Prospect Big Nice. In order for Prospect Big Nice to get back in there and dirty things up, they're going to have to change something here. We're going to have to see something out of them that we haven't seen yet through these first two maps. We are taking a quick halftime break. Going to be back in about 10 minutes. Until then, I am Chunk. With me here is King Kong. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. I am Chunk. With me here is King Kong. We're back from our halftime break, and we are just about ready to move into our third map. Wash holds a commanding 2-0 lead here. Prospect Big Nice looking to get on the board here as we head in to Hanamura. King Kong, let's
Yeah,
get
so
right back into it.
we've got a best of 7 on our hands, or basically a first to 4. So technically could go to more maps if we see any draws, but Wash are definitely going to still need to get 2 more maps to secure this grand final victory.
Yes, two more map wins. We could be looking at one of them here on Hanamura. Project Big or Prospect Big Nice definitely hopes not. What are they going to have to do here in order to beat Washed? What has been
Well,
working for Prospect Big Nice, I guess? What do you think has been good and what do they need to fix?
Well, we've seen Prospect Big Nice lean towards the dive a little bit. However, it hasn't really seemed to be working because Wash have been very, very disciplined in the way they use their ults and their cooldowns. to deal with those dive characters such as Genji. So maybe we'll see them try to switch up their composition, maybe go more of a default McCree composition, or maybe even try to go double shield.
Yeah, we do see some changes here on the line here for Prospect Big Nice and for Washed. For Prospect Big Nice, Casey has come out here, and National Debt is in on the tank now. And for the side of Wash, we have Solno in on the off tank role, and we have Jacob Bro on the Lucio. So couple changes here for both teams. Washed maybe trying to just show a bit of a different look here for the assault map. Maybe some specialists in to play different roles, so that sort of thing. And for the other side, for Prospect Big Nice, they're probably just trying to find something that's going to work. They're looking to find a good comp here. As we see these two teams get ready.
Rollout, but looks like they swap straight to the Hanzo.
Yes, they do. Talking about the Hanzo, though, doesn't seem to find enough value there right early on, as Slow is pretty much instantly able to kill National Debt there, who somehow just gets insanely low. That's going to have to be a fallback now. So we see Giorno go to speed him back there, trying to bring that Reinhardt back. And oh man, Tap takes down Marine Corps with a very cheeky turret placement. I'm not sure if everybody can see where that turret is, but it is up on the crest, on the closed doors at the Hanamura choke, so it will shoot anybody who peeks that window. Almost like they knew exactly what Marine Corps wanted to do with that Hanzo pick and prepared a very good counter for him. So we see Slow now getting a little bit low in this choke, just trying to hold and find this space. Solno playing up next to him. Mech gets very low and does get demeched here for the first pick, as you see this Nano Zarya. A big Earth Shatter comes in here, but it's not going to find a lot, and finds quite a bit actually, as Slow and Tap do take down several. Death and Taxes takes down Solno. Team Chat does take down Slow. This fight is still going back and forth here. We see the investment of the Torbjorn ultimate just to clean things up, but the respawn advantage is on the side of Prospect Big Nice.
Yeah, getting the kill on the Reinhardt will definitely give Project Big Nice space to walk in and take space up towards the point. Wash is going to have to regroup and push back into the point once Slow meets up with his team.
Almost like playing a retake in Counter-Strike, as the point has been given up here. Solno with a huge grab eat, and Jonathan gets taken down immediately after by Jacobro. Those subs already putting themselves to good use here. Tap taking down National Debt, but not for Marine Corps. Does end up finding existence. Tank's very low here for Washed. Solno gets demeched, and Slow does find Death and Taxes though. The beat comes out, but it might be too late here for Giorno. Slow does get antied, a big anti that comes in here for no team chat, but it does seem like it's going to be enough to stabilize here. The healing still coming in from Big Juice. Marine Corps takes down Solno as she almost gets back in her mech. A big pin through the team there by National Debt. An Earth Shatter that doesn't find a lot there from National Debt, but should seal the deal on this point, as that is a lot of alts being used, but it is going to be a first point cap for
Project
Prospect
Big
Nice.
Nice did a great job. It was the Ana, Lucio, and the Hanzo, I believe, who were able to keep control over the space in front of the point to allow the rest of the Project Big Nice team to walk up right after they respawned. And since Wash were pinned back onto the point, all they could do was sit there and take a beating.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see this high ground hold here, they're going to try to put in another bit of a beating here, as we do see the Torb a bit separated, so not that much damage. The anti does get through, and a big wall here, so the team is forced to play around. Nobody gets shattered there. A big block by Jonathan there on that shatter, as we see Big Juice get pinned. National Debt just absolutely selling out for these pins and not getting punished. Jonathan is able to get does get pinned across point there by Slow, with a well-placed D.Va bomb from Solnull taking him out. It's just a stall game here now for Washed. Solnull, the last one alive on point, does get taken down. The beat comes out maybe a second too late, but the retake does come through, as it's going to be Tap and Jacob on point now, looking to take things down. Giorno and Big Juice both finding very important picks there. That could be enough to flip this, and it is going to be. Just that Torbalt and beat invested for Washed, and they did invest the nano there. No team chat nanoing the sleeping Rhine for PBN.
Yeah, those respawns really coming in handy. And also with Slow getting that pin onto Jonathan right before he dies allows Jonathan get killed by the D.Va bomb, making it very difficult for Project Midnight to block any of the Torb ultimate covering the entire point.
Yeah, as we see, again, trying to play pretty aggressive here. This Ryan Sigma double shield composition going to get right onto point.
Great
Slow going to
move
be
from
out to
Big
meet him. Tap Water and Slow going just absolutely bonkers right now. Seeming almost uncontested as they just wade into the enemy team and start killing them. So we see Marine Corps going to back out here. Dry fight, though, for both teams there, as it looks like PBN just trying to charge up some ultimates here. They have almost 5 online. Existence goes down late, though. Could be trouble here, as he's going to have to respawn in order to get back into this fight.
We're seeing lots of ult from both teams, so we'll see how each team uses their ults.
A big shatter there onto Death and Taxes. Not going to be enough to kill him, though, as the counter shatter comes in there from National Debt. A freeze comes in, but it's far too late to do anything, as Soul Null and Existence and Slow all just finding the kills very quickly. What happened in that fight, KingKong?
So Slow actually had a mega brain play, right? He knows that Prospect Big Nice are coming in with a blizzard, so he decides to solo shatter the Mei, and it pressures the Mei into making a bad blizzard. She uses her cryo cooldown early. The rest of the team has to come to help her, right? And it just puts Prospect Big Nice in a bad situation.
Yes, talking about bad situations, they don't have a lot of ults coming in here. They do whiff their wall there on Slow as well, who's done a very good job with baiting them. A big Sigma ult comes through here. No beat to counter it, but the Torb ult comes in. The beat from Jorno is not going to get onto National Debt, who still ends up dying. The ults, though, now coming in. A big nano here. The picks are all there on point for PBN. It's just Big Juice up top, who does manage to take down Marine Corps. That's huge. Jacob does get in for the stall along with Existence. The picks are gonna have to come in if Wash has any hope of holding this point. It's just the tanks and the Lucio here on point. They are getting smacked down here. It's not going to be enough to stall it out, as Solo, the last one to go down. Bomb not really finding anything. Maybe not as fast as they liked, but PBN does cap 2 points.
Yeah, and very crucially, they're able to get it right before it hits overtime, which means in the case that Wash is also able to complete 2 points, they'll also have some extra time to attack as well.
Yep, and we do see here now 37 seconds left in the time bank. Like you said, very important so that they will get that extra time to attack, even if Washed caps with over a minute. I think PBN, though, looking here, they probably think we got to full hold them. We don't want them to cap. We don't want this to go to another round, because Washed did look very confident on both the first and second point defenses. Just ended up being a little too much for them in the end. But if you're PBN, I think you definitely have to put together a very strong defense here.
Yeah, I agree. I like this idea with the Sigma actually coming out from the side of Prospect Big Nice. Sigma definitely not as great with the Reinhardt as with the Orisa, but we've actually seen it in Overwatch League as well, where the Rein and the Sigma has been played together, with Graviton Flux being such a good ultimate.
Yeah, it is a very strong ultimate, as we see National Debt here maybe going for some flank plays. This is the kind of thing you're used to seeing in ladder. Might just be going for a fire strike out the door here to charge that ult a little bit, or might be going for something, yeah, just going to be the fire strike out the door, actually. He's going to back off into the team. I thought he might be looking for a flank
earlier,
pin.
we see the Pharah coming out from top.
Yeah, we did talk about the Pharah here, and Tap is a very confident Pharah player. Gonna have to see how he deals with that Torb turret. He can just play the range here and just put in a lot of damage with that spam. Existence on that McCree that he favors so much, but this Torb Junkrat spam combination provides some really nasty crossfires here for PBN, as we see everybody on Washed really low already. But you mentioned it before, KingKong. Look at Big Juice and that Nano, already online pretty much.
Yep, we talked about that on that Oasis map with the junk and the spam, right? You give the other support a lot of time to build up those that support charge. And look,
yes,
Slow's already got the nano.
And we do see that nano come in. It's not really going to find much value here. A huge sleep there from no team chat, and a huge anti to follow it up is actually going to be the death of Slow. Also a great rock there, if you missed it, from Jonathan, was actually able to take Taps Farah out of the sky and allow Junkrat to get some mines in there to kill him. So
Yeah,
very
that's
good
really
work so far from PBN.
only way for Prospect to deal with the Farah is if Jonathan hits a rock like he just did, or for no team to snipe him down with his Ana.
Yeah, as we see existence on this Echo here, as we see a big shatter there come out from National Debt, and only going to find Soul Null though. Marine Corps is also going to use that Riptire to demech Soul Null and take out Tapwater. Soul Null now getting just a little bit staggered here, 50% back to that D.Va mech. It's going to be interesting to see how long it takes her to get back in there.
Yeah, no, if I'm Prospect, I'm a little bit worried here because they haven't even been able to walk through the choke yet, let alone get a good fight.
Yeah, Washed is definitely having a lot of trouble with this spam composition here from PBN. It's looking like it's confusing them just a little bit. A nano onto the Lucio, maybe not what they intended, but a big ult comes out, and Jacob doesn't have beat there to counter it, as he was on that Mercy earlier, you remember. The ults do come in here now from PBN using the Torb ult, the nano, and the Gravitic Flux. So only one ult left in the tank here for PBN, and it looks like 3 online, almost 4 for Washed.
Yeah, we might be seeing this nano barrage come out. You know, barrage being such a difficult ultimate to use. Oh, but he gets blown up immediately.
But the beat does come in as Slow gets nanoed and shatters people. A big anti here, but it's really not going to be enough to kill anybody, as everybody is just getting killed far too fast. For some reason, Farah was in that choke. It just really didn't seem to work out there, as we see Tap now switch over to that Mei that we're more used to seeing out of him this match so far. Not a lot of time to build up ults here, and if you're PBN, you're sitting on the better ult economy. You have Riptire up, you're ready to win this thing.
Got that Shatter coming up as well.
We do see that Riptire come in early from the flank, and it is just every ult in the game now being used by PBN. They use, looks like 2 there. It's going to be the Earth Shatter and the Riptire in very quick succession. After maybe the Shatter was a little bit unnecessary, but they again have 3 more ults coming online. So it just seems like Washed has been totally outdone here with this, I would say, pretty cheesy comp here from PBN. You know,
Yeah,
if you
PBN have done a great job ult cycling, and now you see they have the Sigma ult coming up and the Nano Boost as well. And here we see the Sigma ult.
and there's still no Lucio beat to counter it. That's the second Sigma ult they've gotten in the time it's taken Jacob to charge one, not even charge 1 beat. So it's just been a lot of trouble here for Wash. They're not finding the same success with their ultimates that they found. As we see Soul Null go down on point, Big Juice not going to be able to get in and capitalize. That is going to be it there. Prospect Big Nice, able to sort of pull things back a little bit with a cheesy comp here on Hanamura. That double spam, just too much for Washed in that tight choke.
Definitely, I think it really just came down to that a fantastic ult cycling by the side of Prospect Big Nice, able to cycle the Graviton Flux along with the Junkrat Tire, 2 fight-winning ultimates, along with the Molten Core as well. Those 3 ultimates, definitely the 3 crucial ultimates in that composition. And being able to cycle those 3 ultimates each and every fight just made it an easy win for Prospect Mid, easy full hold.
Yeah, I definitely would say so. We see Big Juice with the healing card again, but like just not enough, I'd say, there from the DPS line of Wash to really get in and find those picks and deal with that spam early. You know, D.Va only has so much Matrix, Reinhardt only has so much shield. When you're not putting out the same amount of damage, it's just very, very difficult. Very
Yeah,
difficult indeed to
I think
deal with that like cheese composition.
what I would like to see from the side of Wash is if they were able to time the speed boost with their entry through the choke and maybe catch Prospect Big Nice off guard with the amp speed boost, kind of making it difficult for the Junkrat to get value. Right, if they're able to speed boost into that right side room and maybe get some cover, uh, then maybe they have a little options to maybe go up to the high ground and make it a lot more difficult for Prospect Big Nice to capitalize on that choke.
Map 4 is going to be Escort here, and it is Washed Map Washed's map pick, as they did lose last round. They're going to pick Dorado, and we are going to another map here that does, I would say, have some potential for some cheese picks. If we're looking at PBN, trying to go for that double spam composition again, that first point defense can be very deadly if you play that Junkrat Torb, something similar.
Definitely. And remember, I was saying at the very beginning of the match, right now, the meta in Overwatch, you can run lots of different comps, and I think it really just comes down to what teams have practiced and what teams are just comfortable with running. And Junkrat seemed to be working pretty well on that last map.
Yeah, absolutely. The Junkrat, not a usual pick, not definitely not usually comboed with the Torbjorn. It's not meta per se, but it's a little bit cheesy. It's just enough to throw off the other team. They're not really expecting to see it. They probably haven't had to deal with it much in their scrims. So just very good look here from uh, prospect Big Nice, pulling back with sort of not no, not a meta strategy here to take these maps. Just enough of a difference maker though to allow them to have that Hanamura victory, and now hopefully, if you're PBN, you're going to be able to do the same thing here on Dorado.
And they're definitely going to try to even this match up, right?
Yep, it is all about this map right here. This could be a critical point. Either Washed goes up 3-1 and holds a commanding lead, playing now. That would force that would force PBN to play 3 straight elimination games. Or if you're able to even things up, it's like you're back to square one. And those first 2 maps where you kind of got rolled by Washed didn't even happen. And all of a sudden, we're just back to 0-0 and things are even. You get a fresh slate. So if you're PBN, you definitely want to even things up here. If you're Washed, you're looking to take that commanding lead.
Yeah, so I mean, I played soccer my entire life, and something we like to think about in soccer is a 2-0 lead can be one of the most dangerous leads to have, because you can kind of it's easy to get complacent when you're up 2-0, right? Wash, maybe they got a little bit too complacent and just weren't uh ready for that cheese comp from Prospect Big Nice. So we'll see if they can take the advantage back, or if Prospect Big Nice can even it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they definitely have a shot here as we see that Reinhardt Sigma composition on the attack here. This May Reaper here may not be perfect to deal with this pharmacy that we see from Tap, but it's going to be interesting to see how the battle on the ground goes. This Sigma versus this D.Va here, sort of an off-tank matchup. So we see Tap not really finding a lot of value here early. The Sigma shield doing a lot to counter the angles the Pharah is trying to take. The Mei wall comes out, doesn't really find anything. That allows Slow to just sort of stall out the point here in this choke, giving Tap a lot of room to work. He takes out Giorno for the first pick of the map. Nobody else getting very low here, though, for PBN, as they kind of think about just backing out, waiting things out. They know they have a quick respawn here. It's just their Lucio. So they're going to wait for their Lucio, and then they're going to push back in, as we see, again, Tapwater charging that ult pretty fast. 60% now, but about 75, almost 80 for no team chat on that Ana. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these ults are used, who gets ultimates off first. Slow does get walled there, but oh my goodness, they do manage to take down Death Taxes there on the Reaper. The ult comes in from Tapwater, a Nano as well. It's going to be a double barrage there, making a 3K for Tapwater. And oh my gosh, it is just a chase down to the spawn here. No ults invested, though, for PBN, so they got to be feeling pretty good about the 2 ults that Washed had to use there to win that.
But if we look at the side of Wash, they still have the Shatter, they still have the Deadeye. Not the best ult, and the Valk. They still, not the best ultimates, but they might still be able to pull something off.
Yeah, it might be enough here. Without that beat, without that Transcendence, though, that May freeze could be deadly. And they are going to use it here. Big anti there coming in, though. It's going to slow down this push. A big Earth Shatter, though, comes in as a follow-up there. Existence with the Deadeye, but it's not going to be enough to save Slow and Big Juice, who both go down. Slow does get res, but not before Jonathan takes out Existence. Tapwater coming in with a late pick onto no team chat, but it may be too much as the Death and Taxes solo ults Tapwater for some reason. A little bit confusing ult usage there. Might not have needed it, as now the ult bank is empty here for the side of PBN.
Yeah, if you're looking at this from the side of Wash, it's not terrible. PBN, you had to use almost every single ult that they had. They did use every single ult that they had. They'll have the Shadow coming up, but that's all they're gonna have, and they're really gonna have to rely on National Debt landing a really big Shatter.
Yeah, and it is going to be interesting to see how that works here. It does not seem like it's going to work very well, though, as Existence takes out National Debt. Death Taxes takes out Jacob, though. Existence, though, punishing him for that mistake of trying to play against him. Big barrage here from Tap. Maybe a bit overkill there. Not sure they needed that when they already had a few picks, but they're going to use it to get right back on the point here, trying to find some kills. No Team Chat and Giorno both go insanely low there, but they aren't going to die, as we see Death and Taxes now off that Reaper onto that McCree, going to try to pressure this Pharah out of the sky here on this big wide open second point.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to confirm a fight, and it wasn't terrible for Tap to use the barrage there.
We see Slow get stuck behind the wall there. It's not going to be enough to kill him, though, and the Nano comes in and actually saves his life. Solno able to get around that May wall there. Does end up dying for it, but keeps Slow up and gives Big Juice time to get that Nano off. The big Moira ult now, the Coalescence from no Team Chat. It's allowing them to push in, gain a lot of space here. Slow still up, though. Gets a big shatter there, soloing Jonathan, putting him on the ground, but a pin here now takes Slow and National Debt all the way back, meeting up with his team now, and with no Rhine, it's just going to be all about Jonathan here, and this Gravitic Flux going to have to see if they decide to use it. For some reason, they're swapping to Genji here as a Pharah counter, maybe looking to put some pressure onto Big Juice here, maybe playing some more of that dive.
On the McCree, though, as well. And
yeah,
but he has his Deadeye charged up and ready to go now.
Yes, that Deadeye will prove deadly to the Pharmacy unless they play in proper cover. We also still see that beat online and Jonathan's Gravitic Flux. Talking about Deadeyes, though, Existence dies with his. Jacob forced to use the res. The Gravitic Flux finds absolutely nobody. He does manage to miss that, but Death and Taxes follows it up with a big Deadeye, taking out the main healer. Another Deadeye coming through here. It's not going to find anything either, but a big flashbang flashes 3 and is able to kill Death and Taxes. Beat Drop comes in and saves them from a potentially big barrage. Marine and Jonathan trying to frag out and equal Tap's kills here. Giorno does manage to kill Jacob, and it's going to have to be a fallback here for Washed, as the ults just sort of came in, I'd say, slow enough succession for PBN to keep their position on the point.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see Tap switch off the Pharah. Yep, he's going on to the main now, especially since Death and Taxes is now on that McCree.
Yep, we see the McCree sort of force them off the Pharah. They will get one more contest here, and it's going to force out that Nano Blade. Or, sorry, it's going to be a Nano on the part of Washed, which they definitely did not need to use there. The Blade does come out for Marine Corps, though. So maybe a bit of a trade there, but if you're Washed, your ult economy is really bad right now, and if you're PBN, you're kind of just feeling like you can roll through this last point.
Yeah,
with
Washed
this 2-minute
looking a little
bank.
bit flustered. Existence actually got his flash deflected by Marine Corps, which is why Marine decided to pull out the Nano Blade right away.
Yes, as we see this last point here, it's a very good spot to play May, so maybe that will help Washed stabilize here. National Debt, though, looking for an early Earth Shatter, probably trying to build off of this momentum. Jonathan going to push in first, and then it looks like a Shatter is going to come in for Slow, however, who puts 3 on the ground. And National Debt is going to die. The big shatter from National Debt, though, is going to be enough for his team to start winning this fight, finding 2 very important kills there. It's just Jacob and Tap left on the point, and they're not going to be able to do anything to stall it. 5 members of PBN left alive here. Little bit concerning now for Washed, as they have to get back out and contest this point. The Gravitic Flux comes in, but a big bomb from Solno is going to take out Death and Taxes. Jonathan and Giorno finding the picks they need, though. This does not seem like a good fight for Washed, as, again, Ana does go down here. Another Blade comes out here. Tapwater taking out Jonathan, and Marine Corps taking out Tapwater as a result. That's an absolute roll there from PBN.
Yeah, no, I mean, Washed were definitely not able to deal with the Genji Blade as well as they were on that first map. I wonder what's going on inside of their heads.
Yeah, they haven't looked the same since these subs came in. Maybe a little bit of a chemistry issue when you make those changes mid maps. Meanwhile, the sub of National Debt onto that Reinhardt role has really been working out for PBN. They found brand new aggression. They found almost new life. They're doing a better job rotating their ultimates. They're doing a better job taking space where needed. I think that PBN's in a really good position here.
Yeah, no, we'll see if Wash can turn this around though. They'll get to attack, and Dorado if can definitely be a very snowbally map. So if they can get that snowball going, and they can get maybe even get a better time bank than PBN.
Yeah, they still seem obliged to stick on that Pharah here, though. Not 100% sure that's their best call. The Pharah hasn't looked that clean so far. Nothing specifically wrong with Tap's play. I'd say PBN has been doing a very good job of countering it with that double shield composition. Pharah is tough to play against a double shield strictly because, you need to be hitting enemies in order to do damage. If you're just shooting against the shields, Pharah doesn't have the best shield break. She's not going to get that much value.
Yeah, and we see the Ash coming out here from Death and Taxes. And that will make it very hard for Tap Water to get the freedom that he might want.
Yeah, and with no mercy here as well. Maybe they're just sort of trying to see if they're not going to play any counters to Pharah here, trying to find some early value before going back and switching. Gonna have to see how this plays out with PBN setting up early here on the high ground with
Yeah,
that
we're gonna
double
see
shield
Tap switch away,
composition.
switch off.
Tap is going to go back. He's going to switch, seeing that Hanzo Ash combination. Talking about those cheesy spam comps, this can be another one here. Double shield with Ash and Hanzo. That's a lot of damage output. It's going to be up to Solnull. Uses that defense matrix, eat a lot of that damage, stop those dynamites from Ash for charging up Bob too fast. Talking about ult charge, though. Big Juice again, we're seeing getting close to that nano. Slow getting very low here. Existence does find the kills he needs to, taking out Death and Taxes and Jorno, who is probably trying to pocket there. The nano comes in really fast, and it's going to allow Watch to just push in and take everybody out here. That's going to be a team kill. That is a very, very good first fight for Washed. Maybe they're trying to say, you know what, we're not out of this yet. We still are pretty confident that we can beat these guys.
Yeah, it was a great wall from Tap, allowing Slow to go aggro straight into National Debt and putting National Debt on the back foot. With your shield up, you can't get any damage as Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see here in terms of how aggressive Washed can be. They're going to have to push in here. A huge shatter comes out from National Debt. It's not going to be it's going to be enough to wipe the side of Washed with the Marine Corps putting in that dragon for good measure. Existence getting taken out on the way back to spawn. No team chat, up a little far here, but he does seem like he's going to get out okay. The dynamite doesn't get eaten there, and just that's a lot of ult charge for the Ash, who's getting very close to Bob. Ult economy looking pretty even for both sides,
Yeah,
I'd say.
Bob's a really great ultimate too. Oh, it looks like we have a pause coming in.
So yes, we are looking maybe a call for the pause here. It's not coming in yet though, as this fight might still take place. Solno takes out no team chats immortality field there, as it looks like Solnull is going to get demeched. Investing a lot of ultimates here are both teams. Slow going to get a great pin onto Marine Corps there with that May wall. National Debt, though, just pushing past Slow, who looks like he might have disconnected there. Tough moment for that to happen for Slow, and it is tough right now. This is really changing up the way the match is being played. We are gonna have to see something change here for Washed, I'm guessing, but we are definitely going to have to pause this match, yeah, because I think one of the Washed players is having a little bit of connection issues.
Yeah, well, we see lots of ults coming up for Washed on their side. They're gonna have everything except for the B.
Which, yeah, they used last fight and forced out a lot of ults in response to it.
Right, but then Death and Tax is gonna have this Bob coming up real soon, and that can definitely be a fight-winning ultimate.
Yes, and they are going to go down there to that dragon. It's just not going to be enough here, as it seems like I'd say, amount of ultimates on the side of PBN is just going to be too much. They just use a lot of ultimates all at once there. And,
There we go.
yeah.
All right.
Yes, and we are in a pause now. It's going to have to be interesting to see how Washed is able to come back from this, as they had a pretty large time bank going into the pause, but no longer. And they also, I mean, a lot of their alts are gone, but it's definitely not the situation that Washed wants to be in.
Yeah, but they still do have 3 minutes on the time bank, and they still do have that nano boost. They have that diva bomb. And if you look at the side of PBN, they don't really have any ults except for maybe that grab if Jonathan can get it up early. But it's I think this next fight should be a fight win for the side of Washed.
Yeah, we definitely saw PBN try to push and take advantage of that ping spike there. And they did. They used pretty much every alt they had in their bank at once, pushing out onto site using Shatter, Dragons, Window, Beat, Bob, everything they had all at once. So whether or not they get punished for that will be up to Washed, as they are going to be able to push back in. But we're just gonna have to see how the momentum swings as a result of this.
Yeah, and I'm really liking this Ash Hanzo combination with the Sigma. You get a lot of poke damage, and the Rhine shield can break very, very quickly with the Ash, the Hanzo, and the Sigma. And Bap as well, doing a lot of shield break as well.
Yeah, very underrated on that support line, almost like a budget Zenyatta when you think about the extra damage he can put in along with his healing. And I think the double shield is really doing wonders too for PBN. It gives them a little more time to put in damage. It gives them a little bit more leeway in terms of what they can do, what they can't do, because they're pretty
Yeah,
much guaranteed to win Shield War. Two
makes it a
shields
lot harder
versus
for
one shield.
Distance to get value as well when he's just shooting shields the entire match.
Yes, absolutely. I think they've identified what they need to do composition wise. National Debt does get pinned
See
up
the
against
lamp?
this wall here, but a very well timed lamp. Jacob is going to go down to Jonathan there. Tough early pick to suffer there. It does seem like they're still going to push this, as
Death and
Slow is
Taxes
able
is
to
a
just
little
swing
bit
through Death and
offended.
Taxes, but National Debt takes down Slow, and Jonathan puts people up in the air, takes them down. This is a tough position for Wash to be in. They don't use any ults there though, so maybe trying to play it a little bit slow. Solnel getting demeched very late there. Pretty confusing as to how that could
Yeah, she
happen.
has the diva bomb as well, so she's not gonna want to go back to spawn and try to switch to get her diva mech back.
So that forces them to play down a person basically, as D.va without a mech is borderline useless. A Shatter comes in here, does take down Slow, and Jacob is going to get pinned as a result. The ults are coming in now from Wash, but they're finding pretty much no value. And it is trouble here. Existence does take down Death and Taxes, not before Marine Corps is able to take him out. The window here being used to sort of just
Great
play things
shatter,
off, but
great
Slow does come in
shatter.
with a great shatter, puts 4 on the ground. That could be a game changer here, as Big Juice and Soul Mill following up on those. Marine Corps does find the pick here onto Slow.
I'll
Very
definitely put on the
impressive
push.
Hanzo play there from this brand new player on a level 92 account here for Prospect Big Nice. It is very impressive here to see this push still going on without a Reinhardt, though. The Dragon comes out onto point, forcing everybody back. Jacob lingers in it a little bit too long, is going to get taken down there, and it seems like this Ryan is just going to be swinging around on the point. Death and Taxes, though, putting in a little bit of too much damage on that Ashe, using Bob to great effect there to displace all of Washed, push them back into their spawn for almost 5 ults online for Washed, though.
Yeah, and we see a lot of definitely very crucial ults. We see the nano boost. We see the Mayo, right? And McCree, even though you might not get the most value, it can definitely be a really great zoning tool to give your tank space to push in.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see another dynamite come in, just not being eaten there yet by the by Solno on the D.Va. Has to identify where this Ashe is playing. Existence identifies it and takes him out, but Marine Corps is taken down by Slow, but not before he takes out Existence. An Earth Shatter does come in, but it's met by a beat here from Giorno. No time left now. 4 ults left. 4 Washed. They just decide not to use their ultimates here as time ticks out on this map. That's not, I think, the finish that Washed was looking for.
Yeah, no, it was a great flux from Jonathan. He got the Ana in it, and without the Ana, they're not able to use the nano boost. I think he might have even gotten tap the May player in it, and when you're in that Sigma flux, maybe they were feeling reluctant to use their ult.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like we're going to have some subs here for Washed after that, bringing back in their original starting lineup. They're going to try to look to gain some momentum back after what was sort of an unorthodox map for them. They definitely did not play well on the defense there. They looked like they were playing a little bit better on the attack. They had some ping issues, though, which then they just didn't seem to get their mojo back afterwards and just really didn't use their ults well and were just outplayed by PBN for the rest of that 3 minutes. We'll get ready for
All
our
right.
next map here,
What
though.
map are we going to next?
Going to have to see the map type and what kind of what map type is up next. It will be Washed picking again here. They did now lose a second map, scores even 2-2. Either
Yeah.
team now has a really good shot at pushing. Going to have to
Yeah, I
see
mean,
exactly what's going to happen. I think Washed might be looking to take a 5-minute break here. We're going to go to a quick break here. Take 5, everybody. I'm Chunk. With me here's KingKong. We are still tied 2-2 in the grand finals of Overwatch Pretenders. Got some good Overwatch coming up for you after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Overwatch Pretenders Grand Finals for the upper division. We have Washed, we have Prospect Big Nice. They are tied 2-2 after 4 maps. We are going to be going to Ilios next for our map 5 here, as it's going to be a very, I'd say, critical point in this match, determining who gets that very important third victory towards the 4 you need to take home the Grand Finals.
yeah, we're gonna see who's gonna be able to get onto match point and put pressure on the other team. We're in this best of 7, right? So both teams still need 2 map wins to to take the grand final victory. Now we're on Ilios, and last time these two teams met on Oasis for control, and Wash were able to get the bigger of PBN.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see if they can bring that same poise, that same I guess alt rotation, just player rotation around the map, all the things that really were working for Wash that kind of have disappeared these last 2 maps. It's going to be interesting to see if they can bring that back. We have Dak Game Boy and Aussie Boy coming back in now, those 2 original players. Going to have to see if those players will help them get that original swing back with those peels, with all that stuff that was working for them. And for Prospect Big Nice, it's going to have to, they've played a lot of spam these last 2 maps. That's
Yeah,
really what's been, I would say, winning this for them is that
the
use of
Ryan
those
Sigma
spam
has been working
compositions.
very, very well. Having the double shield gives a National Debt lots of time to let his shield recover and even get some swings in. And Jonathan has been having some great graviton fluxes, uh, getting 2, 3 people in each time.
Yeah, those gravitic fluxes have been very, I would say, well used. Maybe a couple here and there that didn't hit their mark, but he's charging them up so fast it doesn't really matter. He's getting a lot of value on that Sigma, that second shield, doing a very good job of bothering Existence and Tap. Wherever they do end up playing, they are just always seem to have a shield in their face, whether it's the Pharah, whether it's the McCree, just always that just shield that they have to shoot past. It's going to be interesting to see here if they still employ that same strategy or if they go back to some of the original stuff that maybe wasn't quite working for them, but they're going to try to turn it around here. We're just waiting to get started on Ilios. Who, in your opinion, has been the MVP for each team so far to this point in the match, King Kong?
I really think Existence has been really the highlight. The DPS, actually, both Existence and Tap have been very, very crucial. I think Existence has been getting a lot of crucial kills, even in situations where you might not think that he could get a kill. And Tap has had some amazing Mei walls uh, to cut off PBN in those first 2 maps. I want to see if he can kind of get back to that form. Now, PBN, I definitely think Jonathan on the Sigmas was looking fantastic. And I have like Jonathan and National Debt, the tank duo from PBN. definitely looking a lot better than they were in the first 2 maps.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very interesting to see, I think, I would say Big Juice on that Anna. I think that if I had to pick an MVP for Washed, it might be sort of the underappreciated support player. She's looked very good on that Anna, very poised. She hasn't I guess, been getting out of position, hasn't been getting punished for getting out of position, just putting in a lot of healing, maybe keeping Slow up at some points where Slow has been a little bit over aggressive, uh, getting around the May walls really well. That, I mean, I believe it's been Death and Taxes on the May for Prospect Big Nice. So very good work on the Anna. And if I had to pick, I would probably say Marine Corps because he's just putting out so much damage. He's doing pretty much the damage of 3 DPS there from that Hanzo roll. Even from that Genji roll, he's putting out a lot of damage and seems to have his ult every single fight. So it's definitely been putting in a lot of work there on that projectile DPS roll. It's going to be interesting to see now going into this map. We're going to get started in just a few minutes here. On
Yeah,
to
no,
Ilios.
Ilio's also another place where you can play some dive, and we've seen PBN lean towards that dive. Now we've seen Washed mostly play this Rhine D.Va composition with either the May, the McCree, or usually the McCree. But sometimes you'll see tap on either the Torb, the May, or sometimes even the Pharah. Another, also a great Pharah map as well.
Now arriving at Ilios.
We are finally here on our map for Ilios. We are going to go here onto Ruins, which is a very popular Widow map. You're going to have to see Existence accomplished on the hit scan. We did see a little bit of Widow out of him earlier on King's Row.
Yeah,
So
but I think he did switch pretty quickly because Marine Corps was on him with the Genji almost instantly.
that is true. That is true. Genji not nearly as effective as there's just a lot of linear sight lines here as we see Existence
Exactly.
and Death and Taxes both on those Widowmakers right now. It's very interesting to see here which one of these snipers is going to gain the upper hand. I think that's going to be the most important storyline to watch on this map. So we do see a D.Va come out from Jonathan and from Dak Gameboy.
Yeah, we
Aussie's going
also
to
see
try
the
out that
double. We
Brig
actually see the
here.
double snipers. So Existence might have a difficult time dealing both with Hanzo and Widow. However, on the side of Wash, we do have the May making that front line just that much more stronger.
Yes, definitely big for the front line, along with that Brigitte too. So it's going to be Slow, Brig, and tap on the May, all on that front line. Going to be trying to stop this dive here as we see that Winston ball combination that we saw earlier. Going to try to bring it in here. This time it's National Debt on the ball, though. He is going to get frozen and almost killed, but the anti comes
Great
in, so he's not going to be able to get healing. It
on
is
both
going to get
flanks.
Jonathan, though. Existence loses that first Widow duel here to Death and Taxes. National Debt frozen yet again, and this time he will go down. Dak Gameboy also goes down. Death and Taxes now with free reign on that Widow, looking for these grapple shots. Not going to really find any of them here as Dak just pistol whips him with that baby D.Va. Aussie Boy finding Giorno, and the frontline strength of that composition from Washed is going to be just enough to scrape out a win in that first fight.
Yeah, Marine had a really great flanking angle on that Wash team, but Wash just had too much point presence for Marine to have enough effect, which allowed Wash to cap the point easily.
Yep, we do see Wash now using that ultimate there from Aussie. Slow trying to get out of that Dragons. Big Juice doesn't get out of that Dragons in time as we see, like we talked about, Marine Corps just farming those ultimates so fast. Only has about an hour of Hanzo on his account, yet he's playing it to what some might call a Grandmaster level. As we see Tapwater take him down here on that May. That is going to be a retake here, not before Wash gets in and stalls. We see National Debt swinging around on that Rhine. No team chat, Death and Taxes both cleaning up this fight. Still a stall here from Tapwater, though. Going to get him to about 50%. If you're Wash, you're feeling okay with that. You do have some ultimates, but control of the point has now been ceded to Prospect Big Nice.
Yeah, you have the crucial May Blizzard coming up, right? And if you look at the support ultimates, we have the Coalescence, and Coalescence is very fast charging ultimate. However, on the side of Wash, you have the nano boost, which allows the Rhine to push through that coalescence with the damage reduction and deal lots of damage.
Yep, and as we're talking about that damage, we see the coalescence come out here. Giorno does get antied, though, in that freeze, trying to keep him up with the coal, but it's not going to happen. National Debt is able to stay up, and Slow does go down, so National Debt should have a free shatter if he wants it. He puts Tap and Dak Gameboy on the ground. Aussie and Tap both fall to Jonathan as a result. That is going to be enough to win this fight here, although Dak is not quite ready to give up yet, but I think it's going to have to be a fallback for the side of Washed here. And they're going to have to find a way to get back onto this site here. They did waste their Blizzard there, so now they're going to have to sort of just work with the ultimates they have.
I was surprised we didn't see the nano boost come out from Big Juice, especially with Slow dying first in that fight. I was hoping she could use the nano boost to take the initiative, but
yes, Slow goes down early, and again we see Marine Corps finding the early kills here. Slow does take down National Debt. The D.Va Bomb doesn't find anything here from Dak Gameboy. Neither does the Shatter from Slow, despite the nano boost helping him. That's all the ults that Wash has, and it just seems to be a bit of an onslaught here from PBN. They now have an ult advantage going into what could end up being the last fight if Wash can't scrape something out.
yeah, you see this Dragon, but Dragon can definitely be very easily avoided. And we see the rally from Aussie Boy, and rally a very, very powerful ultimate, giving you lots of sustain.
Yes, absolutely. As we see Marine Corps with another ultimate and another kill. He is hard carrying this team. I'm sure if he was not allowed to play, this would be a different game, as we see the entire side of Wash get absolutely wiped out here. No team chat, National Debt just finishing things off there. That is going to be a pretty convincing round win there on Ruins.
Yeah, no, that Dragon was crucial because what it actually did was that although it didn't get, it got one kill, but it was also able to split Existence and Tap away from the rest of their team, making it easy pickings for the rest of the deep for Death and Taxes on the McCree.
Yeah, absolutely. Death and Taxes on that McCree. Now Marine Corps on that Farah. Gonna have to see if they end up with a Mercy or not for him. It looks like no team chat might switch over here. Some interesting sort of half dive composition here for the side of PBN. Meanwhile, Slow and Dak on that Orisa ball combination. So we will see these dueling Farahs in the sky, and it'll be up to Existence to sort of help Tapwater win that 1v1 against Marine Corps in the sky. As we
Jonathan. I wonder if he's trying to get some environmental kills into that well.
I think he absolutely is thinking about that, as he's already looking for maybe a bit of a flank here onto Dak. Misses that first hook and gets slept. Excellent sleep there from Big Juice. National Debt getting pretty low. He's going to have to go back maybe to one of the health packs. He is going to find a boop, though, onto Dak Gameboy. Big play there from National Debt, putting Dak Gameboy into the well. Existence finds the revenge kill onto him, though. And Tapwater is also able to take out Marine Corps. Existence able to take out Death and Taxes. Big Juice goes down, though, and no team chat is able to revive National Debt. So it's going to be somewhat of an even fight here still on this point. Maybe Wash, though, going to wait for their respawns to come in before they try to re-engage with this. Slow on the point gets a huge...
They don't have much staying power at the moment.
Orisa is back now, though. And Existence finds two very important kills here early. National Debt going down to Dak Gameboy after a big sleep from Big Juice. These sleeps are going to be very important here on this map against those two tanks and no shield. Remember, we were talking about the double shield, but now we're looking at no shield for PBN.
Yeah, but if you look at the rest of the composition for the for PBN, there's not really many heroes in here who need a shield. Hog can definitely go on a flank, though not much of a dive character. He can get those crucial picks that can open up the dive for the rest of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see maybe around the left side here for the Hog and the Lucio, the ults come out here for both teams. National Debt, though, going to go down, not finding a lot with that minefield. Slow's minefield doesn't find anything either, but Tapwater is able to get Giorno as Marine Corps picks off Aussie. Jonathan with a hook onto Slow, taking him out.
A mercy kill.
No team chat does go Battle Mercy. Existence punishes him for it, but not before he takes out Big Juice. Jonathan, Death, and Taxes finishing off the side of Washed. They will be able to flip the point over here. 42 now for Washed on that site. Again, not exactly what they were looking for, but they definitely have a chance to bring it back with a bit of an ult advantage.
Yeah, so we see 3 ults, or actually almost 5 ults coming up for the side of Washed. Well, let's see if they're probably going to use the Nano on this Pharah to get the most value out of the barrage.
Yeah, absolutely. Both barrages going to be coming in early here. Marine Corps going to go for his first, but he gets instantly shut down by Existence. Does pay for it with his life, but that is enough to save the rest of his team. He will try to get rezzed by Ozzy, but I think Ozzy might have gotten booped out of it or something along those lines. The kills are still going to come in for Tap, though, who's able to get Death and Taxes in the hole, take out no team chat. Dak takes out Jonathan, and National Debt also takes a long way down as a result of Tap Water's concussions.
That was a great fight from the side of Washed too, because if you look at their ult bank, they only use the bongo to win that fight. And if you look at the side of PBN, they switched their entire comp except for the Lucio, resetting almost their entire ult bank.
Absolutely. We do see that beat coming up here for Giorno. That is the only real, I'd say, ultimate that they will have online before the end of the round here. Tapwater, though, going to be able to take out 3, 2 of them with the barrage there. Existence follows it up with another kill and another. Giorno does get that beat online as a result of the fight, though. Does maybe manage to escape here. Yes, he does manage to get out. Gets pretty low in the process, but...
Now, another great fight from the side of Wash too, because if you look at their ult economy, they didn't allow PBN to get much ult charge from that fight. So now they can come in with their mines, with the Deadeye, and maybe even win this next fight as well.
Yes, they are looking at what is potentially the last fight of the map. If Wash can take this home, Giorno goes down before he's able to beat while trying to pressure out Existence. Existence makes him pay for it, and now it's just Tapwater in the air. Death and Taxes goes on a bit of a flank here, does actually manage to take out Existence, but Tapwater takes out no team chat. No healing here until Giorno gets back for PBN. Jonathan almost takes a swim, but he will manage to stay on. Death and Taxes and Marine Corps really trying to frag out here. Death and Taxes finding even more kills. He does get slept here, instantly woken up. It's just Slow and the healers on point now versus Death and Taxes and Giorno. It's just Giorno now. He is going to go down, and that is going to be it. We're now all evened up at 1-1. Valiant effort there from Death and Taxes. He found a lot of picks on that flank on McCree, but it just seemed like there was a little bit too much in terms of resources for Washed.
That switch did seem like it came a little bit late from the side of PBN. Didn't really allow PBN to build up their ult economy. I don't think Marine Corps was able to get a blade, and Giorno ended up dying early with the beat, and that sealed the round.
Yes, absolutely. The dying late with the beat, that was unlucky. I think maybe Giorno didn't realize he was the only one with an ult online and ended up a little out of position trying to pressure out the McCree. Existence, not someone you want to trifle with maybe, but he does manage to take out Giorno there. And Death and Taxes, I think that duel between Existence and Death and Taxes on those McCrees is going to be integral here to deciding who wins this deciding map here.
You see PBN back on the Rhine Sigma, definitely a comfort pick from them. And
yes, especially at this point in the map, but the 2 first picks go to both of the DPS for the side of Wash. Tap and Existence looking very good as the tanks also get very low thanks to an anti-grenade there from Big Juice. We see Marine Corps back on that Genji. He does decide to jump off the map there though, and Giorno also sending Slow off the side of the map. But
yeah, without Baptiste, you lose pretty much all your healing power, and that fire is just able to chunk you down.
Speaking of Baptiste and Pharah, though, Baptiste decides he's going to be the one to take out Pharah. He says, I'm a hit scan too. Takes Pharah out of the sky. Ozzy with a quick res. Now they don't have res going into this fight. Big Juice and Existence both getting pretty low here, trying to stay up. Dak goes down very quickly, but is able to take down National Debt. Marine Corps looking to get as much blade charge as he can. Jonathan taking down Big Juice here. Tap getting pressured out. Jonathan pushing in. Tap does win that duel against Marine Corps. Does eventually get taken down by Death and Taxes, though. The stall on point. Ozzy with the pistol kill. Just absolutely pistol whipping people here for no reason. And oh my gosh, a bit of a long charge there from National Debt. He doesn't get punished for it though, well, due to a well-timed immortality field. Instead, it's Giorno, but Tapwater with a 3K barrage there. Will they be able to follow up on it though, as Marine Corps does take out Tap? A minefield on point keeps Jonathan and Marine off of that point. Respawn's coming in though. This is definitely not looking like a good fight for Wash. They're investing a lot into it and getting nothing out of it. Death and Taxes finding the last 2 kills there to pretty much put any hope of capping that point there to rest for Washed.
Yeah, no, even though Tab was able to get that 3K, the rest of the respawns for PBN were coming in, and with the ball and the Ana, that's not much power, staying point on the power. Staying power on the point, making it difficult for Wash to take that last point.
Yeah, and we do see that window coming out here. Attempted boop there by Slow. He gets way too low, though, and does go down. The Immortality Field is used as a response, but all the ultimates are online here for the side of PBN. They probably don't even need any to win this fight. And going into the next fight, they will have what looks like 5 ultimates. They do try to use the Shatter there, but a little embarrassing. Misses the Shatter and gets slept as a result. The kills are still coming in, though, as Giorno and Jonathan getting pretty bloodthirsty, chasing Washed all the way back to their spawn, finding those kills. Definitely going to secure the fact that this is going to be the last fight for Washed. If they cannot cap this point here, they're going to have to play very smart against these ults.
Yeah, we're nearing last fight territory, and Marine has that blade. They have the Sigma ult. They have the beat. Very, very crucial ultimates.
The Graviton Flux comes in here. Existence uses it to kill Jonathan, though, which does now cancel that ultimate. Big Juice with a huge anti-grenade as well. They're going to have to touch the point, and they do. Death and Taxes and Marine Corps finding those kills there. Solo carrying their team yet again. No team chat takes down Existence and Slow there, who get very low as a result of that Dragon Blade there from Marine Corps. That's going to be it. Marine Corps just deciding that map all by himself.
Yeah, no, that flux from Jonathan forced out the beat from Ozzy. And with the beat down, Marine Corps recognized that he could use his blade and kill the rest of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see here this great barrage here from Tapwater. He had a few of these. Oh, maybe not the barrage. It's the double boop here. He does, I think, find 2 here with that boop in this play of the game. We don't get to quite see it. But definitely some very confident DPS play from Marine Corps and Death and Taxes there. Really was a deciding factor for Ilios, I think.
Yeah, no, the DPS ults coming in really crucial because I think Death also got a double Deadeye kill on the Far Mercy right at the end as well.
Yeah, that Deadeye double kill onto the Far Mercy. You got to play around the Deadeye. You got to know it's there. If you're not playing like, they always had, like their McCree is a threat to you, you're going to get punished by the McCree. Death and Tax is doing a very good job playing in the right position there to take him down. As we see it, we will be moving on to Eichenwald for map 6 here. 3-2 lead for PBN. They're probably feeling pretty confident. They can lock up a finals victory here. They're going to have to choose to attack or defense. They're going to choose attack here. We should be able to get right into this map. What are you expecting to see from PBN here? We've seen a couple different things work for them, but I think I know what you're going to tell me in terms of tank line.
I mean, yeah, the Rhine Sigma has just been doing wonders for him. Jonathan has been getting so much value from his fluxes. National Debt has been great on the Reinhardt. And I think we're definitely going to see Death and Taxes pull out the McCree again because they know that Wash like to pull out the Farah. And Eichenwald is also another pretty decent Farah map as well. Now I'm wondering if Wash might decide to shy away from the Farah, as Death and Taxes has been doing a pretty, not the best job, but he's been doing enough to shut Tap down for about 50-50 of the fights, I'd say.
Yes, absolutely. It is going to be interesting to see how exactly that comp will play here. Remember, we did see that double spam comp on Hanamura. Definitely a cheese comp there from PBN. So it's going to have to see if they decide to employ the same cheese comp when they swap to the defensive side here. They will be attacking first. So it's going to definitely be, like you said, it's interesting to see what this tank comp looks like. So we see maybe a Reinhardt D.Va here from Slow and Dak Game Boy. It seems to be their comfort picks, what they like to play. Jonathan National Debt, maybe a bit more on the wild card side of tanks. They're not really They're not really sure.
Alright, well, see the double shield, the Arista Say come out with the Hanzo Reaper. And we have the BAP and the Lucio come out. So a lot of staying power, a lot of burst damage from the Hanzo and the Reaper. And we have a lot of healing from that BAP and Lucio. And then Wash also going back to their own comfort pick of the McCree and the Ana Lucio. So I think we're really just seeing some comfort picks coming out from both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Have about 10 seconds to get into this here. So we see National Debt back, yep, like you said, on that Rhine Sigma, the Junkrat, and the Ashe here. Marine going to look to find some spam value on the attack here. And that Baptiste, that no team chat used to such great effect last round, especially dealing with that Pharah. And then,
So
yes,
the Junk
May
and the
here.
Ashe. The Ashe
Junk and
definitely
the Ashe.
pulled
Yeah.
out maybe to counter a potential Pharah, but they're just running the McCree.
Yeah, and the McCree, we saw it worked for Washed earlier. Going to have to see if it works here. Dak doesn't eat that first dynamite, though. So that's a lot of ult charge early, right off the rip for the side of PBN. They are getting kind of stuffed up here at this point, though. The slow fight definitely favors the side of PBN, though, as we see them use that immortality field, allowing their Rhine to be super aggressive. He gets into the team, gets everyone very low, is going to charge and take out Tapwater. Existence takes out Giorno, and another dynamite is going to be the end of Slow. This fight is going back and forth after a big anti from Big Juice. It's just not going to be enough, though, as Aussie is the last one on point. Sorry, Dak Gameboy is the last one on point. They both go down to Jonathan, and all of a sudden, that's the end of that fight.
Yeah, PBN did a great job capitalizing on that immortality field, understanding that the Ana, the most powerful tool in her kit, does end up being that anti-nade in the neutral, right? So, being able to win the fight with the invincibility makes it so that Ana can't use her anti to win that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. We see this early window come out. It's a little bit far back, maybe. They can't really push up too far to make use of it here. Slow is able to just sort of save some shield, but Death and Taxes finding a headshot onto Aussie Boy there. Interesting shot there. Slow does take out National Debt, who takes a bit too long of a charge, and Existence with that oh my goodness, though, Jonathan taking out 2 with that Gravitic Flux. We talked earlier about how effective he's been using that ultimate, and there it is again there. Jonathan just doing a lot of work on that Sigma through these first 2 points, is able to take down Slow. He is going to get punished by Existence and Dak Gameboy, but it's going to be too little, too late for Washed. They really need to regroup here if they want to contest the second point again.
Yeah, I mean, overall, though, PBN weren't able to get much cart push during that time as well, but they're able to get it around this bend. But by this time, Wash has already grouped up once again, ready to take another fight.
Yes, and here we are with Slow trying to take this fight. The D.Va Bomb comes in. There's no shields online in the back, but there is an immortality field expertly placed over that D.Va Bomb. The beat comes in as a result of a very good shatter there from National Debt. Bob really doesn't provide much value with where he was placed. Slow taking out Giorno with a pin there. This is a push to the spawn here for Washed. They use a couple ults there.
And Tab got a hammer kill onto Jonathan as well.
So that's Tap's second hammer kill of the game. A little bit of disrespect there, despite being down 3-2. Aussie almost takes a spill off the side of the map there. A little bit worrisome there, but they are trying to stabilize here. Lots of ults on the side of PBN.
Junkrat underneath in the castle. It seems like he's looking for a flank.
He is going to be looking for this flank Riptire. Existence sees it, though, almost destroys it. It doesn't get a chance to kill Aussie, thanks to those good shots there from Existence. We see Marine Corps jump up here now. Existence trying to take him out, doesn't find it. A Slow and National Debt here dueling on the cart. No team chat ends up being the one to take down Existence, though. And a huge shatter from Slow, but it's not going to be enough. National Debt does decide to take Big Juice off the side of the map there, but Slow with this nano doesn't find quite enough value there. The immortality field comes out as to stop that Torbjorn ultimate. No team chat has looked very good on this map on that Baptiste. He's doing a lot of work there as we see Giorno pushing up, being super aggressive, but maybe doesn't notice. Maybe doesn't notice the turret up there and ends up dying to it. As we see Marine Corps and Existence on the high ground there. Existence going for some kind of flank Deadeye maybe. Looks like they know he's there though. lost track of him maybe. He does try to escape below. He is going to
Oh, and
take
this
out
is
Marine
so
Corps.
good.
Marine really thought he could push him there. Apparently not. Does get eventually punished there by no team chat, finding a lot of value on that Baptiste with another
Oh,
kill on the slow this time.
Fantastic Baptiste play. Gets 2 kills.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic Baptiste play. This time, though, it's National Debt who gets antied, pushing in. No team chat, though. Absolutely fragging out. Takes out yet another player. This time, it's Aussie. Existence now back from spawn. Takes out Giorno, but does get taken out by Death and Taxes with a flash from behind. Slow getting pushed now by Marine Corps on that Hanzo. Aussie and Slow now forced to retreat as the last 2 members of Washed alive. A decent stall, but this 3-minute time bank and several ults online probably has PBN feeling pretty good going into this last point.
On Dorado, we talked about Batiste's shield breaking potential, but we didn't talk about his fragging potential. And he can do just as much damage as a soldier when he hits those headshots.
Yes, and we do see that bomb come in. That could be huge. Dak doesn't find anything thanks to a well-placed immortality field by no team chat, but Existence going to clean things up in the meantime. Aussie fighting a couple on the way out as well. So that was a good fight there. Ults coming out from both teams. Washed, though, does end up coming out on top thanks to that Deadeye.
Yeah, but if you look at Washed, you're in a very good position because you got 2 crucial ultimates in the Nano Boost and the Molten Core. While you look at the side of PBN, you only really have this Batiste ult coming up.
Laying out the welcome mat here. It is going to be enough to take down National Debt, and the immortality field also gets destroyed by that Torb ultimate, so it's just going to be a very quick fallback here for PBN, not wanting to give up any extra ult charge with only the Shatter and the Ana ult up. Versus,
yeah, but we're going to see the Dragon from Marine Corps out. And remember, on Ilias, he was able to use that to great effect to split up the team.
Yes, he always seems to get kills with that Dragon. Maybe not this time, though. The Earth Shatter does come in, only getting that Game Boy on the ground. Slow now, looking for maybe his Earth Shatter. Does get Death and Taxes and finds him with the Nano. Thanks to the Nano from Big Juice, just swinging through now, trying to kill as many people as he can before that Nano runs out. Pushing Marine Corps over in this right room. He's going to try to get out, though. He will escape to the side here, down the stairs.
Oh, and Aussie's in their spawn.
Yes, Aussie, maybe a little bit of a questionable decision there to push the spawn and just get absolutely dominated by Death and Taxes. Probably not a good decision from Aussie, but he will make it back hopefully before this fight. Getting close to that beat drop. Does seem like Slow might be in trouble. He does get again just domed by a very tough shot for a level 92 player to hit on that Hanzo. Another Nano here, though. A very fast Nano charge time. It's going to just be Slow, though, stuck sort of out to dry as we see Marine Corps again hard carrying this fight. Seems to be the only differentiator between these teams right now. As otherwise, this has been very even. We see the Dragons go into the spawn here. Aussie trying to spin around, stay alive and stall as long as possible. Death and Taxes doesn't find anything. There's a big anti onto Marine Corps there. It's not going to be enough for any kills there as the bomb comes out, goes up and it lands, doesn't kill anything. The stalls are coming in, though. This is probably winnable if they can stay on, but they can't. It seems like PBN is able to capture with just 15 seconds remaining. So
that was
enough time to guarantee another round.
On PBN to make sure they kill the stackers as fast as possible, giving them those 15 seconds left on the time bank, making sure it does not run into overtime.
Yes, it is going into overtime, or will be going into overtime, assuming, right, Washed can capture all 3 points. They have not looked very good these past several maps, so it's going to be important for them to really find their momentum here, to get a good push together and get all 3 of those points. In terms of PBN, they've looked very cohesive. Their DPS are really dominating this matchup all of a sudden. Like we talked about Marine Corps, just again, it seems like whenever PBN is about to lose, he just decides to hit several headshots on Hanzo and just completely change the course of the fight. So definitely there's some, I would say, very impressive individual play from Marine Corps as we see Wash back on that comfort composition and back on that cheese composition like we talked about for the side of PBN.
Yeah, Wash had a very, very difficult time of breaking this on Hanamura, and with this bridge, PBN will try to use this just like the Hanamura truck. So we'll see if Wash are able to break it this time.
Yeah, they're going to have to be very coordinated as a team. That's the kind of thing that beats these cheese compositions, is playing smart as a team, using your, or making them play on your terms. So we see Aussie away from his team now, up a little bit high. He does get back in with everybody. Slow's shield does go down, so they're going to have to play a little bit slow here. Oh man, Existence with a very impressive shot onto Giorno, but Marine Corps answers it with a pick onto Big Juice there. That is pretty much all of their healing output there. The May wall does come in, and it seems like they're still going to try to push this. Marine Corps with yet another kill does go down eventually to Existence, who also takes out National Debt. He's going to try to solo carry this fight, but it might not be enough as Jonathan takes down Tapwater with a very well-placed rock. Jonathan has looked very good on this Sigma, on this map. He's really been a difference maker here for PBN.
Almost kills Giorno. That would have been a very crucial pick because that would set Giorno back further on his ultimate. If you look at the ultimate charge on those Lucios, Aussie Boy has a 60 ult point advantage over Giorno.
Yeah, that's going to be very big here. If they can get that beat for maybe the Torb ult, maybe the Junkrat ult, whatever it ends up being that you have to use it reactively for. Death and Taxes, though, definitely going to be looking for this early welcome mat here. There it comes. Not going to have any of it get eaten. Big Juice is in a tough position here, trying to escape it. Can't quite get out. And the Shatter also comes in, this time from National Debt. Just going to be a hard reset here for Washed, as that was a very...
great,
I say economical fight for Washed, since they didn't really use too much, but the ults on the side of PBN were used to great effect.
Yeah, no, Death and Tax was able to use his Molten Core to cover that entire area, make it impossible for Wash to push through that area.
Yep, and we see Marine Corps with yet another kill here. Surprise, surprise. It's almost like there's something off there. So we see now it's just going to have to be a fallback here. National Debt gets pretty low, but without a shield tank of their own, Wash really can't push up into this spam composition. It is going to be a tough push now. Getting down into the nitty-gritty, I guess. Minute 40 seconds left, so not panic time yet, but definitely time to worry just a little bit about how you're going to cap. Big Juice gets raised into the air, but is able to get out of it. The reactive beat still comes through. No team chat, still putting in a lot of work. Both Reinhardt's down at this point. It's going to be Jonathan, though, who gets the important deciding pick. A bomb comes in. It's going to take out Jonathan, though. This fight is going back and forth. The Torb ult comes in. Existence goes down. Marine Corps goes down. Torb uses his ult here, and his turret is actually going to do the work there and take out Big Juice. So Aussie just left to die on point, and Dak left to try and get out along with Slow and Tapwater there.
Yeah, we see this coalescence coming up from Big Juice, but you look at the side of Wash, they have the Riptide, they have the beat, they have the Amp Matrix. It's going to be tough for Wash to break this.
Yes, it definitely is. Their Riptire is now on the way in, maybe used a little bit early. It still manages to find Existence. Now, if they want to push with a full team, they're going to have to wait for that respawn. So, it's going to be a tough ask.
Has to use his lamp early.
He does use his lamp early and also his window. Jonathan getting very low here. Tapwater just desperately trying to find these kills over the top. Wash ready to push in now, meeting back up with Existence, who's going to take this flank around the side, using that Deadeye, which is immediately answered. The Slow manages to block that Shatter. Very impressive there, but then uses his Shadow right into National Debt's shield. National Debt goes charging off of the cliff there, doesn't really find anything, but it's going to be enough kills here from Jonathan, Team Chat, and Death and Taxes here to seal the deal on this point. That's going to be it as the Torb turret just reins it in here, and that is probably going to be the end of this finals match, which was, of course, and I would never say anything different, a very fair and balanced match where one team did definitely not have 4 GM players and the other team didn't.
Yeah, I mean, Project Big Nice were able to use those comfort picks and get those 4 straight maps and come back from that 2-0 deficit from earlier on today.
I think that putting National Debt in on that Reinhardt definitely helped them. That Reinhardt and Sigma combination, the double shield, seemed to neutralize a little bit of Existence's work on that McCree. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
definitely I would say an interesting outcome here in what was an interesting match, a 4-2 reverse, I guess, if you will. Not really a reverse sweep,
it's not a
but
reverse sweep because they weren't up
because
3.
nobody was
So,
up 3-0, of course, but about as close as you can come to as you'd
yeah.
expect in this 7-game series. I'm a
Yeah,
little
no,
bit
those subs after the, first 2 maps definitely working wonders for PBN.
I would have to agree. Their team chemistry kind of just went through the roof too. They were able to rotate ults a lot better. And yeah, that seems to be
Yeah,
that
Wash did a
seems to be it.
fantastic job the first 2 maps. PBN, they were undefeated this entire season. And being able
Mhm.
to take those first 2 maps, in a very impressive manner, Wash did do a fantastic job, I thought.
Yeah, they had a very good season, and to see a good season ended in this way is definitely tough. I'm sure Wash definitely not happy about how this match ended up, but of course, props to Prospect Big Nice. Whatever players they did or didn't pick up today, they did play a better game tonight. You know, they might have had less scrim experience, which is why Wash was really able to push them around for those first 2 maps, but they definitely made the adjustments and pulled it together, and they did win the finals here. So they will be the champions of your Overwatch Pretenders upper division here.
Yeah, congrats to them. Yeah, 4-2, great victory. Able to pull off 4 map win streak toward the end. That seals it.
Yes. And that is going to be it from us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the match. I hope you enjoyed the cast, and I hope you learned a thing or two specifically about one of these teams. I think that that is going to be all for me tonight. That's going to be all for King Kong. We hope you join the Discord. We hope to put together more leagues going forward, at least provide a community for Overwatch players to come and connect with one another, especially during a time where maybe, Overwatch isn't the top game right now. Everybody's leaving Owl and stuff, but that doesn't mean there are not still a lot of good Overwatch players in the community. There are still a lot of good places to meet other people who play Overwatch. So don't forget to join the Discord. Don't hesitate to stop in, say hello, play in pugs, find a group, find a team, and have a good night, everybody.